This term at Amnesty,
we're looking at the arms trade, particularly focusing on how British banks are funding companies which produce cluster bombs.
So we went into Buntingford to tell people about this.
Sorry. I was just going to tell you about some stuff Barclays are doing to help make money, because I know lots of people worried about the banks after the credit crunch that they were going to have to get bailed out.
Yeah.
But Barclays are now actually making quite a lot of money, and they're having for a while investing in arms companies. They're investing in companies such as Lockheed Martin and Textron, and they're actually making cluster bombs. So they're companies like that. Even though in August 2010 Britain signed an agreement saying that they would ban the use of global treaty cluster bombs, Barclays are still funding the companies to do that. What cluster bombs are, they're bombs. Within that are lots of smaller bombs, and so when they land, it kind of covers an area of 4 football pitches, and so often they don't explode and they lay there kind of as landmines.
Yes.
And so 98% of people they kill are civilians, a third of which are children.
But soon Barclays got pretty cross with us for talking to their customers.
Right, if you don't move away from my branch, I'll call the police.
Maybe they were embarrassed that to this day they still have an ongoing financial relationship with Textron, the company that produces the CBU-97 sensor-fused weapon, the most powerful and dangerous cluster bomb in the world. A report cited by Amnesty International showed that Barclays were funding cluster bomb producers $274 million in both lending and providing investment. In 2009, Barclays contributed $54.38 million to an ongoing $1.5 billion credit facility for Lockheed Martin, manufacturer of cluster bombs. But Barclays aren't the only bank that does this. In 2009, RBS contributed $64.38 million to an ongoing $1.5 billion credit facility for Lockheed Martin. Lloyds TSB also contributed $48.75 million to this. HSBC have also jumped on the cluster bomb bandwagon, and in 2009 HSBC and Barclays underwrote a combined $44.6 million worth of loans. Barclays then went on to invest a further $75 million worth of loans in a separate Textron bond deal 5 months later.
But not all banks invest in cluster bombs. In the UK, the Cooperative Bank and both ING have got no connections with cluster bombs at all.
And Belgium, Ireland, Luxembourg and New Zealand have all banned their banks entirely from directly or indirectly financing cluster bombs. It is still all too easy for British banks and companies to bypass laws and invest in companies that produce cluster bombs and other dangerous weapons. By regulating the system in the UK and around the world, we can make sure that these weapons do not fall into the hands of people who are carrying out the abuse of human rights. The UK is one of the top arms exporters in the world, so it has a responsibility to make sure that UK arms do not contribute to human rights violations abroad. The government has promised to put human rights at the heart of foreign policy, but there is still a lot of secrecy in the UK arms trade and security trade, and it is still not regulated properly. To do something about this, or to find out more, go to the Amnesty website.